Well, I just think this is a compelling clip, and it has a lot to do with growing up in Hollywood and on some level drug usage. And I have an opinion about it because I'm very familiar with these guys. This is probably a clip that's like 10 years old or something. So, Corey Feldman, sir, you have just gotten weirder and weirder as time has gone on. You know why? Because you keep trying to do a Michael Jackson impression that is more cringe than it is entertaining. I think the whole cachet of if people are coming to see Corey Feldman live, it's because it's like paying to see a car wreck. It's super cringe. And I'm being honest about this because I do like you. I grew up liking you. I grew up liking Corey Haim as well. And so I just want to watch this exchange because I have a few things to say about these guys and some of their history in Hollywood and stuff.
Real honest.
Hey, I'm sitting right here, mannequin down for a reason.
Right, so did I.
Got something to say.
And so Corey Haim is he was always he's always got these I'm so cool quips like, hey bro. It's like, so I do that too here. I can't really criticize Corey Haim because that's what I do here. I'm acting a part here practically. I think, and maybe I suck. And if you think I suck, what the hell are you watching for? I'm not nearly as cringe as Corey Haim doing his Michael Jackson impression. So you should not be giving me a hard time for whatever it is about me here doing what I'm doing. But anyway, I'm way too self-aggrandizing. I realize that. And I realize I use that terminology a lot because that's it's pretty smart to say self-aggrandizing and know what the hell it means. It means egotistical. It means I'm always tooting my own horn, right? I don't know what else to do because and so it would help if I brought others in here. It would become more about them and us as a crew. But right now it's just about me because I'm the one sitting here, right? Anyway, oh my gosh, do I digress.
I'm saying it to you.
Then say it
That's
to me.
what I'm saying.
Don't send Scott. You say it to me. Don't send one of your minions
Okay,
out, okay?
I'll say it to you. You crossed the line.
With what and when and
With
how?
what? Gee,
They're
I
so
don't know.
serious.
In 20 years,
With
in
what?
20 years,
Yeah.
have we ever gone to the press? Have we ever gone and
Okay,
talked
you know what I love about this actually. Producer side note, this particular second season of this show, they used some kind of yellow filter on everything, and I actually love what it looks like. And do you see how Coca-Cola is perfectly situated on these cups right here sitting there? I'm just wondering if that was sponsored and they literally set up the scene like that, because this is a very contrived show. They're like, so this whole beef right here, I question the legitimacy of it. I would like to ask Corey Feldman, is this real? Is this moment real that you guys had? Or were you playing up something that you guys are kind of cool with just to create a story for your show, the two Coreys? I do like this show. I've seen it a couple times. Corey Feldman was married to a woman, I can't remember, Susie, I think was her name. Susie Feldman. I don't remember her original name. Hypergamy got the best of Corey, though. She took off and went with another dude. A much more manly looking dude. Not doing very bad Michael Jackson impressions. Excuse me. Let's continue on with this
Have
clip.
I ever said
Who went
something
to the
about
press?
you?
I had a
See,
scheduled
what-
interview for
No,
a...
Mike, come on,
You
man.
talking
Hold
about
on,
what I
hold on.
said?
See, what is it with the thing on your hand? Is this like an early incarnation of the Michael Jackson impression that Corey Feldman is doing here? What is that brace on your arm? Is that a Michael Jackson thing? Why do you have that? That's not injury. And so another thing with this bastard, for as weird as he is, that guy got to hold on to his hair. You don't deserve that, sir. You should have had your hair fallen out. And I should have my hair. I deserve to have my hair. You don't deserve to have your hair.
Honest?
I
'Cause all
deserve
I
to have
hear
your
from
hair.
Press and from everybody else is how much you hate
God,
me.
he's calling.
So
Your
if you really
manager calling
hate
my
me that
agent,
much,
talking
tell me about it.
I'm looking in your eyes. I'm telling you that. I said
Right.
you're a
And
backstabber,
you called
Corey.
the
and Scott
Inquirer.
Feldman.
Why?
And you called the
Why
Inquirer.
is he a
That I can
backstabber?
honestly tell you I did not do.
And so, okay,
Are you-
okay. He's saying he did not call the Inquirer. I would see. I don't know firsthand, but my hypothesis is that he did call the Inquirer. I have a feeling Haim is being dishonest here. Why are you lying to your bro? The two Coreys should never lie to one another. These guys should have had symbiotic electronic brain connections, letting them. They should have the eternal Vulcan mind meld between one another. You guys,
Serious?
Yeah, they like said it was in a coma
Because,
once.
dude, I'll break it out right about now.
Break it out, kid.
See,
don't have
there's
it on-
so much boasting like between the two of them. It's very laughable the way these guys are with one another.
Me, but I will. Corey Haim called our office to do an interview.
I believe that. When Feldman's
Yeah,
saying
Wired
that, I
magazine.
believe that.
Ring a bell?
Hi. Thank
Ring
you
a
so
bell.
much. Sorry about that. Thank you.
I actually was watching this, and what I want is one of Haim's beanies. This beanie looks pretty good. I want a beanie like that. Can I buy the one Corey had? Will your mother sell it to me?
Yeah.
Don't tell me I didn't show up half hour early every morning because of you.
How about me staying up with you till 5 o'clock in the morning?
That's
you
the
going,
beanie
I'm
I need.
suicidal. I've got a knife in my pocket.
See, so
And who's gonna be?
being children in Hollywood fucked these two guys up fiercely, and unfortunately for Haim, it was much worse. I want to keep going with this.
Except for your best friend. But
You're bringing up real
what are you doing?
real deep things.
What are you doing?
So I'm gonna do
You
this.
want
So
me to
it
get
gets
deep?
crazy
You want me
here.
to get deep?
Watch
Dude, get as
this.
deep
you
as
really
you
want me to?
man. Sure.
I don't think so.
I'm just like pausing every moment to throw off the copyright.
'Cause if you want me to talk
Absolutely.
like that, I can destroy you right now, and you know it.
Corey, I'm sitting
And
right
I
here.
don't
Boasting, gentlemen. You guys are both so egotistical in your own way.
need to
Go
do
ahead.
that. I don't have to do that.
Corey, I'd love to see you even attempt to do something like that.
Are you kidding me?
Do I look like I'm kidding you right
You're
now?
an easy target, bro.
I'm right here. Let's do this. I'm right here. Hit me with the
Stop
hardest-
boasting and have the
You got it.
conversation.
Why
Pussies.
would I want to try and hurt you?
Corey, you opening up to the world about me having a knife in my pocket, and the reason I wear this, man, is
So?
like to cover up some scars I have, because like I used to cut into myself.
Okay.
It's just a way to feel. I
That's
hear.
weird. Now, see, this is someone I grew up liking a lot, so it saddens me that he had such a troubled life, especially with drugs and whatnot.
And like mentioning that, you just f***ing ripped the envelope, man. I'll go you one better. You let me get f***ed around in my life,
Okay,
man.
look,
Raped, so
look
to
what he
speak,
says here.
when I was about 14 and a half, and I'm saying this.
So now, it's not fair that Haim is blaming Feldman for the rape. You're in a crazy environment. Hollywood is disgusting, and so whatever happened when you two were kids, it was not Feldman's responsibility to protect you. You both seem to be in situations at that time that made you two kids vulnerable, and it disturbs me actually. And so Haim is saying right here that Feldman is still hanging out with one of these guys who perpetrated this stuff. And if that's true, it makes me uncomfortable because Haim is all out there trying to exploit the idea that he's anti-pedophilia. Maybe he is. I think he probably legitimately is. But if that's true, are you really truly still hanging out with someone who violated you and Haim when you were younger? Because that seems to be his beef here. But I'm not blaming Feldman. It's like you both were little kids. How do little kids stand up to something crazy like that? Rape? Like frightening. Whether you're egotistical Hollywood stars or not, the embarrassment of like having that secret life when you're famous must have caused you guys as kids to be very afraid for how it would impact your career, and the drugs certainly did not help.
Right now, by the guy you still hang out with, and tell me I'm 14. Take responsibility. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Still best friends
What'd
with
you
them?
do, man, when you saw that going down when I was 14 to me? What'd you do? You knew about it. Besides being his best friend, what'd you do? What'd you do?
Why
All is what you did.
what's he supposed to do? So like is Corey Feldman supposed to do something more than what you're supposed to do if something bad happens in terms of responsibility for yourself? So if something bad happened, you could have reported it. And also, underage or not, let me tell you this. I'm not blaming the victim here. I'm saying that, like, I purposefully in my life, especially at this stage, I avoid a bad scene. So, like, if something's f***ed up, I get the hell out of there. I walk right out away from it. I was downtown years ago, and some guys started getting into a fight. And my thought was, I could take out my phone and film this, or I could get the hell out of here, because it was aggressive. There were all kinds of, like, guys fluttering around, and I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. I got out of that. I walked away from that situation. And so what I'm saying is, everyone in everyone's life, you have a choice to make. You're in a situation, you're doing drugs, you put yourself in a situation, something bad happens that you have to account for. And you can't just blame the world. Oh, it's everyone else's fault. I'm sick of this. It's everyone else's fault. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes other people need to own up to their responsibility. But what happens in your life is a byproduct of your choices. And so at 14, I don't think these guys had proper parental guidance. Like they weren't saying, oh, no, hey, sorry, you're still only 14, whether you're famous or not. You're staying home tonight, and you're not going to be out doing drugs, and you're not going to be drinking and with Hollywood rapists or whatever it was. I hate to imagine who it might have been, because I feel like we might recognize some of the names who have violated these guys.
Man,
I believe I
wants
was...
cocaine with me. God bless you.
You want to talk about the truth? Okay,
And see,
well, then let's
you're
talk
blaming
about the
him.
truth. I was being...
Well, you're both fucking responsible for the situation you were in, but it's also some adults bear some responsibility for not watching over you as kids. And it's Hollywood. So, like, not only is it bad enough when the parent is not watching over a kid, you're too lenient with your kids. You're letting them they're famous, and so you're letting them go out into Hollywood and do whatever. That sounds like a recipe for trouble. So I hear all this blaming of Corey Feldman here by Haim, but it's like both of you were let down by your parents. I've read Feldman's autobiography, and it's a little bit harrowing in certain parts. He reveals that at a time when he was so upset and he wanted to end it all that he actually stuck a gun in his mouth. And when I was little, at the age and stage he was at when he did that, if Corey Feldman had killed himself, like that would have stunned the shit out of me as a little kid. Because I looked up to these guys. I idolized these guys for a long time when I was younger, only to grow up cooler in my own skin, doing what it is feeling more distinguished, less wealthy, probably, but more distinguished. And oh, by the way, definitely more wealthy than Corey Haim. Not more wealthy than Corey Feldman. I believe Corey Feldman is quite well off.
Molested at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do?
And it's worth noting also that Corey Feldman, he got sober, and I believe he's maintained his sobriety over a long period, which, notwithstanding how cringy he is as a person on so many levels, my God, woohoo! I admire that a lot about him, that he got sober.
Talk to you about it.
You talked to me about it?
Yeah, sure. You told me while I was sleeping, this happened to me, this happened to me. I'm like, dude,
Right.
you weren't sleeping.
I was
Yeah,
wide
sleeping.
awake.
Tried to talk to you
I was
about
wide
it.
fucking
Yeah.
awake.
Sure.
Were you sleeping?
I was awake, Corey. I was very aware what was going on with me.
See, now that's the intensity. I was awake, Corey. Can I go back on this? What I like about it is this is the intensity. If you guys acted like this in movie roles, you could have had like, this is the acting I want to see in a movie role. So like Corey Feldman, if you ever heard this and you're listening, this is such real, believable emotion here. And maybe it's not real. This is the Oscar performance of your life, in my opinion.
Okay, well, then let's talk about the truth. I was being molested at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do?
So yeah, is it your
Talk to you
fault,
about it.
Corey Haim? Is it your fault then that? So if it's Corey Feldman's fault, these two guys and their fucking names, the two Coreys. If it's Corey Feldman's fault that Corey Haim got molested by a dude, then is it Corey Haim's fault that Corey Feldman got molested by a dude? Are they both mutually responsible for being molested by dudes? I'm not trying to be insensitive about what happened to them. It's just that both your names are Corey, and I'm playing off of that a little bit. But
You talked to me about
Yeah,
it?
sure. You told me while I was sleeping, this happened to me, this happened to me. I'm like, dude,
Right.
you weren't sleeping. Yeah, I was sleeping. Tried to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Were you sleeping?
I was awake, Corey.
I was awake, Corey.
Awake.
That statement right there is the Oscar-winning performance. I'm going to cut out of this now, but I love that moment because I was awake, Corey. I really feel it when he's saying that there. And so, like, then he gets this acting role in that TV show, and Haim can't perform because he starts taking drugs. But it's like, dude, if you could get the role and you could stay sober, that's the kind of authentic thing. Except I'm talking about him as if he's alive, and I'm very sad the man is dead. But I'm talking about him like, hey, take my advice, except that you're dead. And that was 10 years ago. Boy, am I way behind.